everyone. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and here we are. Today is actually, I'm recording this on a Friday. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because I've named, the title of this class, or the theme of this class, is Feel Good Friday. And what I mean by feel good is that I want us to just do our practice without having to worry too much about precision. And it doesn't have to be this oomph type of class, a robust, very serious class, but fun and light and easy. But at the same time, you'll be getting stretches, and we're concentrating on the spine. Particularly today, just the gentle stretches of the spine. Not as much necessarily the strengthening of the muscles around the spine, but stretching it out, giving it that kind of freedom to move with ease. So that's what we're doing today, or this session. Let's start in our child's pose, a very relaxed child's pose. So you can make a pillow with your arms. Let's come down and begin our practice. So the theme is we're going to indulge in our simple pleasures. So I want you to indulge in this moment, these 30 minutes of being relaxed, as if you've just entered a spa. And let's find a nice comfortable breath as well, just an easy flowing inhale and exhale, as if you're watching, you're sitting near a stream, a meandering stream or a river, something that's that's very slow moving. And let's rest our forehead on the ground, on our something, whatever is the best thing to put your forehead on. And let's start to listen and feel the breath. If you can reach the back of the body, if not, don't worry, this is a feel-good day. And if you're watching this at the end of the day, then this is a feel-good end of the day practice. Sometimes we try too hard. We feel like, well, we're doing our class, so we should really push through it, challenge ourselves. But actually, yoga is about balancing all that. It's sometimes we push ourselves, sometimes we really work hard, and sometimes we kind of create that ease, that lightness, that calmness, and that's what this is today. And let's gently from here take the next breath in and lift on into our all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees are under hips, and let's come onto the forearms and just slide your knees slightly back. Let's do a few little cats and cows in this shape. Dropping your head, looking back behind you, and then inhaling, lifting through the spine, arching your lower back, looking towards your thumbs. Exhaling, rounding, dropping your head, peeking through those legs. Inhaling, floating, looking towards your thumbs. Let's do one more set. Exhaling, rounding, and inhaling, looking forward. As you exhale, then inhale, come into your tabletop again, now with the arms straight. Let's just do a few little cats and cows in this position, noticing the difference between the two. Just 2 sets with the arms straight. You can soften the elbows, not too much with the arms today, just letting them be soft and flowy. Now the next inhalation, back to your neutral spine. Come back onto your forearms. Bring your knees back, and we're going to float forward, inhaling all the way forward, and slide the arms actually a little further towards the front of the mat, and lower yourself all the way down, but keep your elbows under your shoulders. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, just press oh, actually keep your elbows on the ground and then lift back up onto your knees, press back into child's pose, but with the arms resting on the ground. So the elbows are down, the forearms are down. And then inhale, float forward through your cow stretch and your knees slide back a little bit, inhaling into your Sphinx pose. You'll get this in a second. Exhaling, just coming onto those knees, pressing back and melting your heart to the ground, and then inhaling, floating forward through the cow shape, tilting your tailbone up to the sky and then lowering back down. Let's do 2 more sets of these at your own pace. You can choose whether you want to kind of take this a little bit deeper or stronger, or stay with me. And we're going to do one more inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to press all the way back to your heels, slide your hands towards your knees, and then come all the way up off those heels. You can walk back so that toes are towards the back of the room, to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Let them be soft and flowy. And then exhale, dive down, as if you're diving into a pool of water, and your arms are going to slide next to your shins, all the way, maybe even touch your fingers to your toes, your heels, maybe, if you can get it that far. And take an inhale, then slide the hands forward again and up to your knees and reach your arms up. And just open up into this V shape. Maybe lean back a little bit. And then exhale, dive down, just like a waterfall, and slide your hands, let them rest your arms next to your legs, your shins, and then inhale, lift back up. One more time, opening up into that V. Take a breath in as if you're just waking up to the day, or ending the day, or maybe it's lunchtime. Take your hands this time in front of your knees, slide them forward, flow through your cow stretch, and this time exhaling either into your extended child's pose or follow me, downward dog. So in your downward dog, let's just kind of move around a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of a sway of the spine, pedaling of the feet, just to warm up this body. And then let's come back to pressing the heels towards the ground, and then bend your right knee and press through that left heel. So what you want to do here is explore the kind of tight spaces in the backs of that left leg, especially the calves. And then just take your left foot and slide it a little to the left. So you're pivoting on the ball mound of that left foot, and the heel is pointing towards the left side of the mat, not just on a diagonal. And then maybe look underneath your right arm, take your right hip, lift it up. Again, this is a class where nothing has to be too precise. And then bring your feet back so they're parallel, and then bend your left knee. And now you're pressing your right heel down. And feel into the back of that right leg. And just swivel on that right ball mounds, the right foot, and then the heels just slightly out to the right, and feel the hip as you stretch and look under your left arm. And then inhale back to center, and let's lower the knees to the ground. Let's take a breath in, and let's do that the flow that we just did. Reach the arms up, inhale, lift. You can lean back a little bit, exhale, dive down, let the arms float next to your shins again. Inhale, lift up, warming up the spine, opening up the arms. Exhaling, diving down. One more time, inhale, lift up. Opening up the arms and exhaling. This time, as you dive down, the hands touch the ground in front of your knees and slither forward through your cow pose. And let's lower all the way down onto our stomachs. Let's take our hands next to our chest, but slide them out a little bit further, either slightly off the mat or off the mat. And let the elbows drop down. There's nothing needed for the elbows. And our forehead's resting on the ground. The legs are either together or slightly apart. Nothing's happening with the lower body other than support. Forehead, take an inhale and use your exhalation to lift your forehead and your chest up. But keep your hands where they are. Keep your feet on the ground. Squeeze your bottom cheeks. Inhale at the top and exhale, lower back down. Doing a little bit of back strengthening. Front opening. And then once your forehead touches the ground, take an inhale again. And exhale, lift back up gently. Just gently. It's a summer day in wherever you might be. Just imagine this. And lift up even if it's not summer. And then lower down. So just working primarily the lower back. And then from here, take a breath in, and this time lift your hands off the ground. Just let them hover. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your head and chest off the ground. So we don't have the support of the arms. And squeeze the bottom. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower down, all the way down, hands as well. Slide the hands next to the chest, breathe in. Curl the toes under, come onto those knees, and either press back into your extended child's pose or come into your downward dogs. Taking a few little stretches. So a lot of stretching today, a lot of really concentrating on the spine, but not too intensely, not too seriously. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, walk to the front of the mat. And once you're here at the front of your mat, let yourself soften down into that forward bend. Opposite hand to opposite elbow if you'd like. And come back to that image of the lazy river, lazy, or the stream, whatever body of water relaxes you. I think about the Mississippi River on a summer day. Slow, and there's not much energy in you, so you're just kind of taking it slower because it's hot. And then if you're cradling your elbows, release your hands to the ground. Take an inhale, lift up halfway, hands on the shins, and don't worry about making it so precise your back at this point. Exhaling, forward fold, and that's inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Lift all the way up, stretch through those fingers, and a little bit of a back bend. Then exhale, hands together in front of your heart, fold forward. We'll be doing a few of these easy half sun salutations. Take an inhale halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, and leaning back, allow the arms to soften, maybe even circle the wrists. Exhale together, hands together in front of your heart, float down. Take an inhale halfway, and then exhale, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms up. This time, stay up, just reach your arms back. And then come up nice and tall. Take your hands and interlace them except for your index fingers. Press, inhale, lift up. And then exhale, just bend to the right. Let the arms soften a little bit here, so we don't have to be stiff and strong and powerful. We're just having a lazy day today. Inhale, lift up through the fingers, and exhale to the left. And what this does is it releases all that tension from the spine just because you gave yourself permission to take it easy. And then fold down, forward bend. We need days like that. We need yoga days like that too. And just let yourself just do a little bit of a sway from side to side, then step back into a downward dog. And then lower the knees down, press into your child's pose just for a breath. Taking a breath in, and take a breath out. And then from here, let's just inhale into a tabletop. Let's curl the toes under, and press into a downward dog or your extended child's pose. We're going to bring the left foot in towards the right foot and reach your right leg back behind you or up to the sky, but it doesn't have to be very strong. And right knee into, bend your right knee, bring it halfway to the center of the body, then place it inside your right wrist. We're going into our pigeon pose. Now I'll show you in a second those that cannot do this version of a pigeon because of knee issues. Let me get you in this first, or those that can come in. Place your heel underneath your pubic bone, slide your left leg back, and bring it in a little bit to the right side of the mat so that it's behind you, not out to the side. Come onto the fingertips, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower yourself down. So you're folding over these. This is a hip opener. You can make two fists, place one fist on the other if the forehead does not comfortably touch the ground, or put a cushion. And let's take a few lazy, comfortable breaths here, calming breaths. And I'll show you the version for those who find that just way too much to handle. You're going to place that right ankle on your left thigh and take your hands behind your left thigh and soften the head down. So this is the other version. And of course, when we do the other side, you'll just switch, okay? So that's for those that... So knee, yes, people with knee issues, I do not recommend this. It's too much of a pressure on that knee, but if you don't, that's okay, or if you have just a little bit going on, that's okay. Take an inhale, and let's take one more breath in and one more breath out. Then inhale, walk your hands back up. Curl the toes under, the left toes under, and step back, downward dog. And do a little sway from side to side, loosen up that spine, little shakes. And then take an inhale and bring your right foot in towards your left foot, left leg back behind you or up to the sky, and bend your left knee. Bring it in about halfway to the center of the body, then just behind your left wrist, or inside your left wrist. So your left knee is almost to the edge of your left side of the mat. Slide your right leg back and bring it in just a little bit so it's behind you, not out to the side. Most of us go as far as placing the heel underneath your pubic bone. That's perfectly fine. If you're very flexible, not extremely, but more flexible and no knee issues, you can actually create a 90-degree angle with that leg. And then otherwise, you lie on your back and you do the other side. So you do the reclining pigeon. Take a breath in and come onto those fingertips, and then let's exhale. Find our way down, 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 down. Keep exploring a place to rest your forehead. And you can wiggle a little bit. Find the hip evenness, evening out the hip joints. This is a hip opener. And breathe in. And breathe out. So by evening out our hips, that impacts our spine, obviously. When one's off kilter, the hips, it's going to affect our spinal alignment. So if we're talking about the spine, we need to working on our hip joints as well. And then let's walk our hands back up. Let's curl the back toes under. Let's step back into our downward dogs or your extended child's pose. And if you're in your downward dog, just bend the knees, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, straighten the legs or keep the legs slightly bent. Just do a little bit of a bend and straighten, as if you're going to leap forward. Take one more bend and lower your knees to the ground. Come onto those forearms. Slide your knees back into a gentle, loving, nurturing plank, forearm plank. And you might say, you know what, I feel like I could use a little bit of a traditional or regular plank with the knees up. Do it. And just stay here and breathe as if you're watching that river, that on a warm day or hot day, really. and you're drinking iced tea and lemonade, and and then lower the knees to the ground, press back. It makes it easier when you think of those things and you do your planks. Little sways from side to side. Take your wrists and circle them, and then come back up. And then come onto that right hip. We're going to be doing some stretches. So take your left leg out to the side and right foot inside your left thigh. So it's as if you're doing a straddle, but half a straddle. Okay, take a breath in and just bring your arms forward and slide yourself into a forward bend. So your hands are on the ground. And what you're doing here is you're making sure that your torso will naturally lean towards the bent knee. Just push into that right hand and help your spine even out so that your torso is straight rather than to the right. And breathe in and breathe out. And the thing about doing things slow, we often feel guilty about it. Like, well, if I'm exercising, I should be pushing myself. I should really be working more hard. And that's not always the case. It is not. And that can actually do the reverse in terms of losing weight, because you push too much and then you increase your stress hormone, the cortisol, and we don't want that. So you have to balance things out. Walk your hands towards, come back up nice and tall, and now we're leaning towards the bent knee, and walk your hands over towards the right side of the mat. So you keep walking until finally you find that twist. And the left hand, you use that left hand to push into the mat and help you twist a little bit more, using that as leverage. And breathe in, and I don't care about how your feet look. It's just just bring your attention to your spine, soften the shoulders down. Let your head just hang here. So too much forced exercise isn't good either. Some of it is good. We like to, and then let's just switch the legs. Right leg out to the side, left foot inside your right thigh. So here we go. Just take your sit bones and play around a little bit, and then slide your fingers forward. Let's fold over. Same thing on this side. The torso likes to lean towards the bent knee. So just take your left hand and push into the ground a little bit to even out that spine, even out the hips, soften the shoulders. So balancing that, and that's even just, not even with exercise, it's also with your life. There are gonna be days you just want to chill out. And then twist your body towards your bent knee and walk your hands over to the left side of the mat, especially that left hand. Right hand, you can use that as leverage, and gently twist towards your left arm. Whew. Unbelievable how good this feels on the spine. And that's, our culture is very much about push, 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 achieve, succeed, walk yourself back up. And then that's from here, swing around so our feet are pointing to the top of the mat. And we're going to do an abdominal flow. So feel free to straighten the legs for those who can sit up easily tall. If you still find you can't do this, you can always put a cushion underneath, or a rolled up blanket. Or the other option is place your feet on the ground, and that's much easier. I mean, feet on the ground. Yeah, feet on the ground and knees bent. That's another option, okay? It's important that we maintain that tall spine, but still with ease. Now, let's reach forward, forward bend. Let's take an inhale, lift your arms all the way up to the sky. And then roll the shoulders back and exhale, push the hands away. Draw the tummy muscles in. Then inhale, float up nice and tall, opening the arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling, interlace the hands, sweep your arms up. And then exhale, let the hands float down behind your back. And inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale, keep the lift. And then inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. One more set. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and push away. Inhale, open the arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling, interlace the hands, reach your arms up. And then exhale, float the hands next behind you, lift up through the heart, opening it. And then take an inhale, lift your arms up. This time, you can slide yourself all the way down onto your backs. And once your back of the head touches the ground, stretch through that body. Take a breath in. And this is called wake up stretch. It's whatever time of the day, even if it's time to go to bed. It's a way that we could stretch the entire length of the spine and our body, our hands, our feet. And let's hug our knees into our chest, little rocks from side to side. And then feel free to open up the arms out to the sides and drop your knees to the left. Easy spinal twist. If you're finding it's difficult, just slide your knees down. Make it easier. Make it not so intense. And turn your gaze to the right. The guilt gets in our way of many of our decisions that we make. So the more we push ourselves, the more we try and achieve, we're running away from feeling guilty, because laziness, or not, I don't like the word lazy, but being relaxed and chilled often feels like laziness. Hug your knees into your chest, forehead to your knees. And then drop your knees to the right, open the arms out to the sides, turn your gaze to the left. But actually, it's just balancing your life so that you recoup, you replenish, that we're doing a replenishing type of class. This is not anything extra other than replenishing. But at the same time, you're going to feel like you can do more, because if you're doing this in the morning or the lunch, afternoon, because you haven't tired yourself out. You haven't zapped your energy or sapped your energy. Hug your knees into your chest, bring your forehead to your knees, and then let's prepare for our Savasana. So Savasana, feet out to the corner of the mat, let the arms rest next to your sides, spin the palms up, closing the eyes. Take this moment, the next 2 to 5 minutes. I'm going to have to come out sooner because there's only 30 minutes here. But what I would suggest you do is you just continue on. You can always pause me. Since I record live, my live people, I turn them off at a certain point so they could just stay there. So I have live classes, which I record. And this is what so if I make mistakes, it's because I can't go back and edit it. I'm going to come up and seal the practice. If you ever want to do a live class, you can always go to my website. I'll give it to you in a second. So as we seal the practice for this session on feeling good, allowing yourself the pleasure to enjoy the simple pleasures, indulge in the simple pleasures. Find things that, I don't care what it is, whether it's chocolate or something, or putting your feet up, reading a good book, watching a movie, doing nothing. And when you do come out of your Shavasana, feel free to I always suggest, not feel free, I suggest that you come into your easy seat for a moment so you can feel in. You don't just jump out of it and get going. You ease yourself out. So thank you for being with me for this session. And if you enjoy my classes, just press the subscribe button on the right-hand side of the screen, and comment anything you would love to say or ask for. I read my comments and I respond to them, and thumbs up would be great. Thank you again. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Have a lovely, lovely rest of the day or evening, whatever time of the day it is for you. I'll see you soon.